buddy. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. Hi, handsome.
He said to me, child, I'm afraid for your soul.
Alexa, skip. No. Oh, what the hell? Why is my hand getting in the way? Shit. What the fuck? That didn't happen. I was doom scrolling earlier today, procrastinating on the stuff that I actually needed to do today. And I came across a video by Pirate Software. His shorts have blown up recently, and his voice is audible ASMR. And I'm just gonna stick it here. I hope he doesn't copyright me for it, or give me a strike or something for it. But it's the context you need.
Can't live off meaning though? True. So here's what you do. You get a day job for money. Then you start a side project for meaning, which is what I did until the day that I could leave that day job to follow that side project full time. That's what you do. That's how it works.
For the longest time, I've said there's no money to be made in powerlifting, and that pretty much is true. Even the meets that pay out big payouts is nowhere near any level of sustainability for the lifters at all. It's not like strongman. It's not like bodybuilding where there's a handful of shows every year and the athletes are actually professional. Powerlifting is considered to be a hobby in the eyes of the spectators and those who want to see the sport grow. Um, but so I graduated college with a degree in math, and I found a job to generate wealth, or none of the big words. I got a job so that I could make money, so that I could lift, because like what the guy said, you get a job to make money, and you have a project to give yourself meaning. And my meaning for myself, since I was in college, since I discovered powerlifting, was to become the greatest powerlifter of all time. And not just the best me that there can be, but the greatest powerlifter of all time. But to supersede that, I will be the best me. It will just happen to also be the greatest powerlifter of all time, right? And these YouTube videos, I'm trying to give you guys like I'm basically treating the camera that's on me like a gym homie who's coming along with me, and I keep trying to explain like why you should do certain things that I do. And I've done some like internal, like, ever since I saw the video, the short, I was like, what is the meaning? What is my meaning, you know? I read a book recently called On Writing by Stephen King. It is a fantastic book, even if you're not trying to be an author. I am trying to be an author, but that's something beside the point. But I also read, not Tolkien, but the guy who did Narnia. He would sit down and respond to letters of fans frequently about writing, because I was in this theme of like, what kind of mindset should you be in when you are trying to write fiction? And that was fantastic. And I'm finding a trend of my favorite books are ending up being books about topics that the main character, or not main character, but the author is passionate about. It doesn't even have to be a plot line. So On Writing was just Stephen King's basically expressing his passion for writing, and also what annoys him about writing and writers, right? And I was like, I personally, the way that I'm approaching my videos is not the way that I approach lifting at all, because I've never actually had a training partner. Because so this is gonna sound conceited and not humble whatsoever, but I give very little shits about other people. So the way that I'm approaching these videos of, I'm trying to teach you guys, here's why you should do something, that's the wrong approach for me personally, because it's not, hey, I care about your progress, you should do this to make your progress better. It should be, I do this because it makes me not a pussy. I do this because it's hard and no one else does the stuff that I'm doing, because I'm going to be better than them. My goal is to be better than everyone else. So this is the shit that I'm doing that makes me better than them. It's a small nuanced difference, but it's a big difference. It just a semantic difference changes the complete tone of what I feel and how I express things. And all the big YouTubers say that like, you can hyper animate yourself, but as long as you are still the person that you prescribe to be, that animation has to be genuine. Otherwise, the viewers will see right through it. It's going to be so fake and no one's going to like what you're doing. And right now, it's not looking like anyone's liking what I'm doing. I just reached 1,000 subscribers, but I am way far off from 4,000 annual watch hours, because the me is a generic me to be likable for people to like. I just had about a week off from work because work closes down for the holidays, and we start back up the day after New Year's Day. And I caught up on a TV series that I've been wanting to catch up on for a while. It called The Boys, right? And the basis of it is the series is these superheroes extremely flawed. They're extremely human. They just happen to have superpowers. And one of the things that unfortunately I related to was the main antagonist, who is just blatantly the antagonist. He is the antithesis of a suspenseful supervillain, or not supervillain, but a suspenseful villain. And it's a terrible, terrible thing that I related to something that Homelander said in, I believe it was season 3, where he just explodes.
Homelander, he's a human. He's just like the rest of us. We all make mistakes, right? But we all deserve second chances. In that spirit, Homelander has agreed to donate $10 million to the Starlight House, which
No.
is, I mean, come on,
No.
give it up. Give it up for
No, no, no. Starlight lied to you just now. She did. I don't make mistakes. I'm not just like the rest of you. I'm stronger. I'm smarter. I'm better. I am better. I'm not some weak-kneed fucking crybaby that goes around fucking apologizing all the time. And why the fuck would you want me to
Go to
be?
fucking commercial, Roger. Go to fucking commercial.
Don't you dare stop rolling, Roger.
Now, I'm not saying that I'm better than everyone like Homelander was in that scene, but I'm saying that I will be. And there's this whole stigma with arrogance associated with a lot of strength sports, because some person gets a bit of momentum and they start to feel stronger, they start to feel more confident, and everyone just says, no, calm down, don't be so arrogant. Now, arrogance is confidence without substance. If you can't back up your words, if you can't back up what you are saying, then you are arrogant. And the fact that I'm not the greatest yet is arrogance. The fact that I say I'm going to, because there's two kinds of people in the world. There's people who say a lot of things and they get the clout, they get the ego boost, they feel good about themselves for saying these things. And then there's people who back up what they say. All of their actions reciprocate that they intend to actually follow through with what they've said. And when I left my previous coach, Greg Panora, part of the reason why I signed up with my current coach, Joe Sullivan, is I noticed a trend that little guys like Joe Sullivan, Chad Penson, John Hack, Shane Hunt, these little tiny low guys, Derek Thistlethwaite, they're touching on numbers that previously were considered to be untouchable by someone under 300 pounds. And I knew that there was something that they were doing that no one else is doing. There is something that these little guys are doing that the big guys aren't doing, because the big guys, the totals should, the totals that super heavyweights put up should be untouchable by someone at 220 pounds. They should be untouchable by someone at 181, 198, 220, 242, 275. The totals that a super heavyweight puts up should be untouchable. but they're getting tickled by these little guys. So these little guys are doing something the big guys aren't doing. And I want to do what they're doing, but as a big guy, because as the tide rises, all ships float up, or whatever that saying is. Because they optimize what training looks like, what training has to do in order to get you stronger. It's been optimized. It's continuously getting optimized, and there's a whole world records are only borrowed. No, I want to set one that's so large that no one can ever perceivably beat it. That's my goal. They're doing something, and I signed up with Joe, and I'm training a completely different way than I've ever trained. I didn't hit a single lift PR on the platform, but I hit a total PR. That was basically a stamp. This is the best meet you've ever had. Don't regard the rest of the lifts. Your goal is to be a total specialist. You want your total to be as high as possible. So it doesn't matter what what squat, bench, and deadlift are, as long as at the end of the day your total is better. That's what I want. That is why I signed up with Joe. That is why I'm taking this completely different path. And my whole life I've been a people pleaser. And it's almost neutered myself, my confidence, my self-value, the viewpoint I have of myself, the dishonesty that I express towards the outer world that I know deep inside is not me, right? And I know it's cliche talking about this on New Year's Eve. Tomorrow is a new year. It's a new me. We're going on a different path. It's bullshit. It just happened to be a coincidence that I came across the pirate software video that I came across today. And I finally put the pieces together. I have to approach the only way that someone makes money in powerlifting. It isn't winning big meets. It's opening a gym. Fuck that. It's coaching. I do coach, but it takes a lot more time than it is worth at this point for me. But I do coach because have you seen the economy? And the third way is to produce online content such as powerlifting content on YouTube, Instagram, get sponsorships and stuff like that. So you can start to grow a following, grow wealth, grow notoriety, grow inspiration, influence, so that you can cash in. But if you approach things like you want to make money doing things, then you're disingenuous to the things that you are producing, right? Your motivation isn't to, hey, I want to express the way that I feel about things, because the way that I feel about things will not be positively received by other people. The way I feel about things is not a good way to feel about things. The majority of people will not understand the way that I feel about things, the way that I think about things, the way that I approach things in my head, the way that I think, the way that I feel, the way that I act are not positive ways to think, be, or act. They're not the average, which is why I do it. You don't want to be the average of the societal whatever. Or I'm a Sigma. No. I'm an Alpha. No. The more Sigmas and Alphas are, the more insecure they are. You just got to be you, right? So I'm going to attempt to be more me. And it's going to take time. It's going to take a bit of growing pains to be more expressive of how I feel about things. And a lot of people are going to be like, oh, this guy's a douche. He's a dick. But yeah, because I am one. What about it? But it's who I need to be to do what I want to do. You got to be arrogant, because eventually that arrogance is just going to be knocked off his confidence because you keep saying, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, until you reach the point where you do what you've said you're going to do. It's going to be arrogance. But once you surpass that point, it's confidence. It's a catch-22. You're losing until you've won. You got to back up what you're saying. You got to do the things that are required of you to do that thing, right? So if I want to be the greatest powerlifter of all time, I have to train like I'm going to be the greatest powerlifter of all time. I have to eat like I'm going to be the greatest powerlifter of all time. I have to recover like I'm going to be the greatest powerlifter of all time. I have to take the supplements that are going to say I'm the greatest powerlifter of all time. And I have to act like I'm going to be the greatest powerlifter of all time. Otherwise, it's disingenuous. But it's not a character. It's releasing. It's not releasing the inner beast. That's cliche as fuck. There isn't really correct words to express what is actually, what kind of metamorphosis internally has to go on. You have to break mental barriers. You have to you almost have to pervert your viewpoint of the definitions of certain words. Words like heavy have to have no meaning towards you. The things like hard. If you use RPE, you will never be great. Because you're thinking too much. Because you're feeling too much. When you're thinking, when you're feeling, you are doubting. The more thinking, the more feeling you do, the more doubt you have in your system. So you got to go to the point where your brain is shut off. You got to go to the point where your body starts to shut off to do the things. You have to go to the point where no one's willing to go in order to get to the point where you want to be, right? If that is your goal. Now, not everyone wants to be the greatest of all time, and that's okay. That's for them. To each their own. Everyone has their own sets of goals, sets of whatever they feel. We finally hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. Yay. It is something to celebrate, but with celebration comes complacency. If I say, hey, I did it. I reached a goal, 1,000 subscribers. I appreciate every single one of you. I just want to get to the point where my project that gives me meaning, which is powerlifting and providing the way that I go about things to give myself basically a spin of the top from inception, that I'm still in touch with who I want to be and who I want to go to be, what I want to do. That's what these are for, to remind myself how I feel about things so that I can look back and be like, oh, so everything's got to be for me. I am my own intended audience. Come along for the ride. I bet you'll have fun, because I bet I will. Because with meaning comes happiness and prosperity. That sounded cliche as fuck. Anyways, I've rambled on for way too long, and I doubt anyone has actually stuck around this long. You probably saw me do my edit, my super edit of what I did today. I literally just finished bagging up all of my meal prep because failure to prepare is preparing to fail. On the topic of cliches, but I'm just waiting for the countdown to New Year's 2024. No one's around me. Couldn't be bothered. But anyways, I gotta edit this video and put it out for you boys. I say boys, and then I think, what if there is a girl out there? But I've looked at my statistics. It is 100% male. It is 100% male. Anyways, Patty out.